We're about to sail on the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady. What questions do you have about this adults-only cruise line? Hey folks, I'm Walter, and thank you so much for joining us on the channel. As always, if you have not subscribed yet, please do hit that subscribe button. Click the little bell icon so that you'll be notified when we have new content on the channel. Now, the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady. Now, first of all, Virgin Voyages is the newcomer to the industry. They've had impeccable timing joining the industry right as all this turmoil has been going on with the pandemic. Because she is so new and because this whole Virgin experience is so different from everything else out there in the cruise industry, I wanted to throw it out to you guys before we get on the ship and say, what would you guys like to know about the Scarlet Lady in particular, and then the Virgin Voyages experience overall? Please put all of your questions down in the comments and I will do my best to get your answers while I'm on the ship. Now, when we step on board the Scarlet Lady, that will be our 8th different cruise line. Yeah, we've really spread out our travels. I mean, we really like trying out new experiences, new ships, different itineraries, and so far we've found, we like every single cruise line that we've been on, and every single cruise line has had annoying features about it. So we're gonna have a really good yardstick to compare Virgin Voyages to pretty much all the other mainstream cruise lines. But first of all, stats about Virgin Voyages. Number one, it is adults only. 18 and over only can sail on any of the ships, which is kind of cool. No kids running around. So if you're looking for that adults only experience, Virgin Voyages has it. The Wi-Fi is included in the fare. All your basic soft drinks are included in the fare. The gratuities are included in the fare. All of the restaurants are included in the fare, and that is pretty much every single meal that you can have on the ship. However, there are a couple of things. Every ship has, they have the tomahawk steak, or they have something that is a slightly added fee, but basically you can eat at all 20 restaurants without any additional fee. Virgin puts an emphasis on health and fitness, so all of the group workouts are included on the ship. The 3 lady ships would be, I guess, what we call a mid-size ship these days, 2,800 passengers per ship. There's currently 3 ships. You've got the Scarlet Lady in Miami, you've got the Valiant Lady over in Europe, and then the Resilient Lady is ready. She was supposed to launch in 2022, but due to staffing issues and supply chain issues, the Resilient Lady has been held until 2023, so she'll launch next year. In the Caribbean, Scarlet Lady is running 4 and 5 night itineraries, and over in the Mediterranean, the Valiant Lady is running 7 night itineraries. Now, in the wintertime here in the US, the Valiant Lady will come over and she will start running 6, 7, and 8 night itineraries. So if you're looking for a longer itinerary on Virgin Voyages and you'd like to do the Caribbean, that will start happening around November of 2022, and she'll stay here for the winter season before going back to the Mediterranean. Now, on board the Lady ship, there is a full complement of cabins. They have solo cabins, they have interior and ocean view cabins, and then for double occupancy, they have interior, ocean view, and then sea terrace, which is their balcony. They call those the sailor cabins, and then they have Rockstar and Mega Rockstar, which are all the suites. The Rockstar suite would be kind of similar to, say, from a mini suite to, say, a concierge suite. And then the Mega Rockstar suites are the really big and very expensive suites. All levels of suites actually come with a fully stocked bar. I believe they're half-size bottles. We're going to find out when we get on there. And then the Mega Rockstar suites, you can get those bars refilled as you're on the ship. So it's not just a little mini bar, it's a fully stocked bar in your cabin. And of course, you've probably heard you get the record player, so you can go down and get vinyl records and play records in your cabin. And I believe there's at least one Mega Rockstar cabin that has guitars in the room with an amplifier. Now, something to know about booking and also your onboard experience. First of all, if you book your cruise on the Virgin Voyages website, you cannot choose a cabin. They do not give you the option to go in and select a specific cabin. They will select it for you based on the category that you've gotten. And we've noticed that they are really pushing deck 14. That's usually the deck that pops up and says, that's the deck you're going to get. Now, we've seen on the Cruise Critic forums and some other social forums that deck 14 is to be avoided if you can on the Lady ship, because the gym is up on deck 15, the galley is up on deck 15, and apparently if you're under the running track, you can hear the vibrations of the people running around the running track. So be aware of that. If you want to book a specific cabin, then you have to go through a travel agent. Now, once you are booked on the cruise, unlike most other cruise lines where you can start, booking dinners and excursions through the website, the Virgin website really is just the basic information. They have everything on their app, and the app is where you can see the menus, you can book your excursions, and you can book your dinners, and then once you're on board, you can even do some stuff with the app as well. So they're very app reliant. Now the way Virgin is working it right now on cruises less than 5 nights, they're only allowing us to make 1 pre-cruise booking at an individual restaurant. So like we can't make 2 bookings right now for Pink Agave. But once we're on board, if we say, you know what, we'd rather go to Pink Agave than one of the other restaurants, they always have walk-up service, and so we could just walk up. We could cancel one of the restaurants and just go ahead and walk up to Pink Agave. But right now, that's the way they're doing it. If it's less than 5 nights, you're gonna see you can only book each restaurant once, but that doesn't mean you can't go to the restaurant more than once. So our journey getting on the Scarlet Lady actually starts all the way back in the spring of 2019 when the bookings first became available. We booked a Havana Nights cruise. We were supposed to actually stay overnight in Havana, Cuba in July of 2020, but then at some point the US government said, nope, you can't go to Cuba anymore. So Virgin changed our itinerary, but we switched it again to the Mayan Sol. So it's supposed to be 5 nights cruising around the Caribbean in July of 2020. But of course the pandemic, that cruise got canceled. Then we rescheduled for July of 2021. Pandemic. Virgin Voyages did not start sailing until October of 2021, so we rescheduled for July of 2022, and now here we are 5 days away from finally meeting the Scarlet Lady. And along the way, we were actually able to upgrade from our Sea Terrace, which was the balcony that we originally booked 3 years ago, and now we're in a Cheeky Corner Suite, which is one of the largest balconies on the entire ship. We're going to be up on deck 12. And the way that happened was when they canceled our original July 2020 cruise, they gave us 200% future cruise credit. I mean, 200%, that's like unheard of. We paid $2,600, so we had $5,200 now to spend. We could have taken 2 cruises or upgraded to the suite. So originally we had the Suite Aft Suite, and then we switched it over to the Cheeky Corner Suite. Now that Cheeky Corner Suite goes for about $5,200, $5,600 today, $6,600 in 2023. So thank you, Virgin, for the 200% future cruise credit. We're getting that cabin for $2,600, and we'll be traveling with some friends from high school who will be in the other corner, Cheeky Corner Suite as well. And my goal is to try to talk to as many crew members, try to talk to as many folks to find out what the Virgin experience is really all about. And any questions you might have about, the cocktails, the food, the service, the crew, the ship itself. Bimini, their private island, that's going to be interesting. And actually it's not a private island, it's a private resort. It's part of another resort that's reserved for Virgin Voyages. So any kind of questions that you have about the Virgin Voyages experience, about the Scarlet Lady, and in fact, if you want to take a great tour of the Scarlet Lady, check out Hard Travel and Danny Har's tour. He does fabulous tours of pretty much any cruise ship you want to see, front to back, top to bottom. There's a great no-nonsense tour to really give you a sense of the entire ship. We watched it when we first booked the cruise, and I can guarantee you we're going to watch it again in a couple of days just to refresh ourselves of where everything is on the ship before we get there. So hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Again, if you have not subscribed, please do and hit that little bell icon. And please, any questions you have about Virgin Voyages or the Scarlet Lady in particular, please put them in the comments. Thanks so much. Have a good day, guys.